Combustible Blood. This is the blood demon art of Nezuko. It allows her to combust her blood, creating bright pink flames. Her flames have the unique property of only being harmful to demons and things relating to demons, but being otherwise harmless to normal people. Her flames have been shown to cure demonic poisons as well as make it more difficult for demons to regenerate. The flames can also coat Nichiren katana, making them more powerful against demons. The major drawback is this ability requires Nezuko to bleed, and an excessive usage of it can cause Nezuko to fall asleep. In the end, we are talking about a little kid and the usage of blood. Biokinesis. The blood demon arts of Kibutsuji Muzan. It grants him powerful biokinetic abilities, most prominently the ability to manipulate his body at will and shapeshift instantly. Although all demons have the ability to manipulate their flesh, Muzan's manipulation is on another level, possessing the ability to change his appearance, flesh, and organs at an incredible speed and precision. The shapeshifting is the main reason he has been able to evade the Demon Slayer Corps for centuries. In battle, he's able to use this ability to do a whole host of things, creating whip-like masses of flesh from any part of his body that are sharp and strong as katana blades, grow jaws all over his body and use them to bite everyone that come in touch with him, grow a mouth on the torso that is able to unleash a shockwave blast, create a flesh puppet and control it, altering his body properties like having more hearts or brains. And last but not least, his regeneration ability is insane. You don't even have the time to let your katana pass his neck and see some damage. His regeneration is so fast that we can compare it to the X-axis shrift. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video about that. Go watch it. Crescent Moon Blades. The first upper rank, Kokoshibo's blood art. This ability creates dozens of crescent moon blades that Kokushibo can manipulate. These blades can change in size, speed, and direction, chaotically making them extremely difficult to deal with. Kokushibo uses this power in combo with his breathing style. In this way, he can increase the range of the moon blades, but he can cast this ability even without the katana. There's not a real difference between his breathing style and this power. I mean, the breathing style is just a buff for his blood art power. We can say that his breathing style derives from his crescent moon blades ability, while is the opposite in the case of the 6th upper rank. We're gonna cover it later. Cryokinesis. The blood demon art of the third most powerful demon in the series, Doma, the 2nd upper rank. This ability allows him to create and control ice from his flesh and blood. His blood art is so powerful that simply inhaling the ice he creates would kill the cells in your lungs and make you unable to breathe. Simply coming in contact with the ice was enough to almost freeze a demon slayer and her surroundings. Doma likes to use his ability to make a series of construct out of his ice. He has been shown to be able to make lotuses, stalagmites, and even clones of himself that are able to use his abilities. He sure is an artistic manipulator. Destructive Death. This is the blood art of the 3rd upper moon, Akaza. Akaza is a skilled martial artist with his power revolving around his mastery of the Soryu style of hand-to-hand combat, which he learned when he was a human. His demon blood art allows him to create and manipulate shockwaves from any part of his body. These shockwaves can be in the form of invisible air pressure, cannon-like strikes, and even energy shockwaves which he can both use up close or as ranged attacks. He imbues his punches and kicks with these shockwaves, greatly increasing their destructive ability. Emotions Manifestation. This blood art belongs to Hantengu, the 4th upper rank. This ability allows him to create clones of himself that embody different emotions. The emotions that we've seen embodied in the series are anger, pleasure, sorrow, joy, hatred, and resentment, with Hantengu himself embodying fear. All the clones, despite Urami, the resentment, have their own unique abilities and demon blood art. They're all super strong and hard to take down, especially Urami. The emotions manifestation activates when someone succeeds in cutting off Hantengu's head. From the start, Tengo divided his body in 4 different clones: Sekido, Karaku, Aizetsu, and Urogi. These clones are also impossible to kill as long as the true Hantengu himself is alive, with his main body being nothing more than a coward who runs and hides the whole time, and the other 4 try to kill you. It's not an easy task to dealing with this blood demon art. Searching and chasing the true body is a real pain in the ass, because when the true body is in real danger, Sekido, the clone that embodies anger, is able to absorb the 3 other clones and turn into Zohakuten, the hatred manifestation, getting a huge boost in power, allowing him to use all 4 demon blood arts as well as his own. Let's cover all the 4 blood demon art of these clones for now. Before continuing our journey, I would like to ask you if you like the video to like and subscribe. As you can see, our channel is still small, and any help on your side will help us to keep producing content. Electricity generation. This is the power of Sekido, as said before, the embodiment of anger. We can say that he is the leader of the four manifestations. With this ability, he's able to summon thunder or regenerate electricity by sticking his staff into an object, usually the ground. The attack has a large area of effect and is so powerful that instantly paralyzing the victim and making him go unconscious. Wind Blast. This is the pleasure manifestation Karaku's power, and with this blood art, he is able to create a powerful gust of wind when he swings his large fan. The gust of wind is so strong that he's able to launch Muichiro away with a single flap. However, this ability is tied to the fan, so anyone with the fan can create these gusts. This is shown when Nezuko got a hold of the fan and used it against him. The fact that these two use a weapon to cast their spell makes me doubt if they really have a demon blood art. The power may just be in the weapon, you think? Let me know in the comments. Spear projection. The blood demon art of Hantengu Soro, Aizetsu tends to prefer melee combat using his spear, unlike the other clones that use their blood art more prominently. His demon art is not very fancy. It allows him to project the thrust from his spear over a long distance, turning what would have been a close-range attack into a ranged barrage. Just compared to Genichimaru's Shikai Shinso. Sonic Scream. This is the blood demon art of Hantengu's Joey clone, Urogi. He releases an incredibly powerful scream that is strong enough to cause Tanjiro to bleed from his nose and ears. He's also able to use flesh manipulation to create mouths, severed limbs, allowing him to use them to scream, though these are less powerful than the scream directly from his mouth. Wood manipulation. The power of Zohakuten, Hantegu's embodiment of hatred and combination of his other clones. He can create and manipulate wood by beating the drums on his back. He uses this ability to make snake-like dragons out of wood that can stretch up to 20 meters, though the length can be increased by focusing on a single target. He can use this power as a defense too, by creating a shield for the main body. Zohakuten is also able to use the blood demon art of the other clones through his dragon's heads. This guy is so awesome and powerful, I wonder why he's not the main body of Hanagetsu. He's basically a Senju with a much cooler look. Oh, I forgot Urami. Urami, the last manifestation of Hantengu, doesn't have a unique blood demon art, but as Zohakuten, he can use all the power of the first four manifestations. His unique strength is his very tanky and hard to take down. As we saw in the anime, he takes the role of a hideout for the true body. Porcelain Vase blood art. This power belongs to the 5th upper rank, Gyoko. This ability allows him to create vases anywhere near him and teleport freely between any vase he has made, making him extremely mobile despite he doesn't have legs. He's also able to trap other things, including people, inside these vases and manipulate them as he wishes. He used his ability to fuse together multiple swordsmiths and create hulking fish monsters that invaded the swordsmith village. Gyoko's blood art is largely themed after the sea. As such, he is able to use his pots to launch numerous aquatic attacks. He can summon different fish monsters that have different abilities. Some shoot out poisonous spikes, others leave behind poison when they die, and we even have some that have blades. He can also create large tentacles from the pots he uses to attack his enemies, restrain them, and destroy the surroundings. Keeping in line with the whole ocean theme, he's also able to create water from his vases that he can use for numerous attacks, like firing out high-powered jets of water. Most notably, this ability is used to create a chamber of water to trap the mist Hashira Muichiro. This reminds me of Zabuza's water prison jutsu. Gyoko has also been shown to have a second blood art in which he uses his fish scales for combat when in his molten form, but little is known of it as it is rarely used. Hemokinesis. Hemokinesis, or blood manipulation, is the blood demon art of Gyutaro, the 6th upper rank. Gyutaro is able to control the blood in his body, releasing it from his flesh Kama, the two little sickle that he uses as weapons from open wounds or even straight from his veins at will. Due to his regenerative ability, it is likely he can never run out of blood, giving him an inexhaustible amount of firepower. Gyutaro tends to use this ability to create fast-moving sickles made out of his blood. He's able to move them as much as he wants and shape them as necessary until they hit its target. Moreover, they were coated in a poison that is so strong, Inosuke claimed a single scratch would be enough to kill him. Gyutaro can also harden his blood as defense, being able to break any cheating blade in a head-on clash. Obi Sash Manipulation. This blood art belongs to Daki, the little sister of Gyutaro. Much like the name implies, this ability allows Daki to create floral obi sashes that she uses as weapons. These sashes are soft as silk, yet as sharp as a katana, being shown to easily be able to slice through a building, yet extremely difficult to cut because of its softness. She uses these obi-like whips or tendrils on the offensive as well as shields to block and parry attacks on the defensive. A unique property of her sashes allows her to catch and store people inside her obi by flattening them into a two-dimensional object. Basically uses this ability as a food storage. The only way to free these trapped people is to cut off the portion of the sash they are in without hurting them, of course. Utilizing this very ability on herself allows Daki to fit into any space her sashes can, making her extremely elusive. She has also been shown to be able to turn her neck into a sash to give it the same tough and flexible property, making it harder to cut. Electrokinesis. This is the blood demon art of the 6th upper rank and former demon slayer Kaigaku, that takes the place of Gyutaro and Daki after they defeat. It is implied that the ability makes up for Kaigaku's inability to learn the foundational thunder breathing. This blood art allows him to create black lightning. As I mentioned before, Kaigaku uses the blood art to empower his breathing style. This happened because he was too greedy and didn't learn the basics, as some gamers would say. Dream Manipulation, the blood art of Enmu, the 1st lower rank. This technique has two main parts. The first is sleep inducement. With this ability, well, he's able to force his opponents to sleep, in a sneaky way or in a more direct way. While his opponents are asleep, he can use the second part of this blood art. He's able to create dreams that his victims live out, trapping them in their version of a perfect world. Enmu enters these dreamscapes, and, by heading to their edge, he can enter the person's subconscious, where he can find the core of their soul and destroy it, killing the victim. Though this power is incredibly strong, it is possible for someone to realize they are in a dream by sheer willpower, though this does not mean they immediately wake from the dream. Tanjiro escapes the dreamscape by repeatedly committing suicide. Thread Manipulation. This is the blood art of Rui, the 5th lower rank and the boss of the spider family. As the name implies, this ability allows him to create and manipulate threads made from his flesh. Because of how tough his body is, the threads made from it are incredibly durable and sharp. He has been shown to use 3 main techniques in the anime. Cutting thread cage surrounds the opponent with a web of these strings to cut them into pieces. Murderous eye basket creates a shrinking cage of these threads that closes in around his target. Cutting thread rotation creates a spinning wheel of threads that relaunches at the opponent, cutting them to pieces on contact. Despite the innate power of these threads, Rui is also able to enhance them by imbuing them with his blood, making them even stronger, giving them a deep red color. I guess we can consider this sort of an armament hockey, if you know what I mean. Silk Cocoon, a version of the thread manipulation that is used by the spider daughter from Mount Natagumo, the little girl that is a sibling to Rui. Do you remember her? Like her mother and brother, she can create threads so strong that even katanas cannot easily cut through them. However, her threads take a form similar to the cocoon of a silkworm rather than spider webs. She uses this to trap her opponents. She's also able to release acid from her hands that can melt through flesh, albeit slowly. By combining the two abilities, she can trap an enemy into an acid cocoon, so the victim will melt slowly and his body will be soft and ready to be consumed. Thread Puppetry. This is the ability of the mother of the spider family. The mother spreads thin webs that are almost undetectable by the naked eye. She uses tiny spiders to attach them to her targets, allowing her to control their movements. She's able to bring out the full physical potential of anyone she's controlling by forcing their movement, even if it would damage the body. She has been shown to be able to spread these threads over an entire mountain, turning anyone that walks through its woods into her puppet. As all puppetry ability, even this can manipulate death corpse. Transmutative Poison. This is the blood art of the spider sun. This ability makes a poison that once administered will turn the victim into a mindless spider monster with their only human feature being their human head. In this state, they can do nothing but serve the spider sun. As shown in his fight against Zenitsu, this poison takes 30 minutes to fully take effect. Thank God in Shinobi's medical mastery, this curse can be cured. Drum Spells. The demon blood art of Kyogai, the former 6 lower rank. He has 6 drums embedded into his body, and by beating each drum, he's able to manipulate his mansion in a different way. The drums on his shoulders rotate the room in their respective directions, while the drum on his left leg rotates the room backward, and the drum on his right leg rotates it forward. The drum on his back teleports people to another room, and hitting the drum on his navel creates a claw strike. It should be noted that the ability of these drums to alter orientation only works within his mansion. Speed Augmentation. This is one of the simpler demon blood arts, and it belongs to a demon known as Slasher. Much like the name implies, it allows the user to greatly increase their speed, covering them in deep blue light. Blood Bewitchment. This is the blood art of Tamayo, a close ally to Tanjiro and a demon actively looking for the cure to their condition. This ability allows her to cast numerous supporting spells once she draws her own blood. We saw her use this ability in 2 main ways in the series. With Scent of Illusionary Blood, Visual Dream, she creates floral illusions to obscure the target's vision, while Magical Aroma of Daylight forces anyone who is affected by it to confess their lies and tell the truth. Blindfold. This is the blood art belonging to Yushiro, Tamayo's subordinate and ally of Tanjiro. By creating Paper Talisman, Yushiro can reveal or hide anything he chooses. By placing the talisman on something, he can erase its presence, rendering the thing or person invisible. And by putting a talisman on someone's forehead, he enables that person to be able to see things that would otherwise be hidden. We see this when he gives a talisman to Tanjiro, allowing him to see Yahaba's hidden arrows. Vampiric Trees. This is the unique demon art that the demon slayer Genya gets after he ate a piece of Kokushibo's flesh katana. This blood art alters his iconic double-barrel shotgun, allowing him to shoot bullets made of flesh. He is able to control the direction and path of these bullets. Once they are in the target, Genya grows the bullet into a gigantic tree that roots the opponent in place. This tree also absorbs a lot of blood as it grows, stopping other demons from being able to use their blood art. Hiasobi Temari. This blood art belongs to Susumaru, and was shown when she used it to attack Tamayo's hideout. Her ability is to create handballs at will that are incredibly powerful, being able to destroy any object they come in contact with. Koketsu Arrows. Koketsu Arrows is the blood art of Yahaba, the demon that attacked Tamayo along with Susumaru. He is able to manipulate the direction of anything he watches by blinking the eyes on his palms. The ability appears as an invisible arrow that can be seen with the Yushiro's talisman. He was able to use this ability to make Susumaru's balls unavoidable, while Tanjiro was given the ability to see the arrows by Yushiro. Infinity Castle Manipulation. This belongs to one of the most enigmatic demon, Nakime, the creator and owner of the Infinity Castle. We often see her playing a biwa, which she uses to channel her power. Her ability creates an extra-dimensional space that seems to consist of infinite rooms of many varieties. Nakime is able to manipulate these rooms any way she sees fit. She can use the ability offensively, forming rooms full of spikes, makes them fall into the void, or trap the enemy in an infinite labyrinth. By the way, she is well known as a support character for the demons, and the main purpose of her power is used as a place for reunion or for teleportation. Flesh Seeds. This ability belongs to the Asakusa demon, a man that Muzan turned to a demon but was reduced and treated by Tamayo and Tanjiro and was able to regain his sanity. The ability makes small balls of flesh that resemble seeds seemingly materialize in thin air. These flesh seeds rapidly grow spikes in all directions, penetrating the opponent. Even inside the opponent, they continue to branch out, restricting the movement of even someone as strong as Muzan. Swamp Domain. Swamp Domain is the power of the main antagonist of Tanjiro's first mission, the Swamp Demon. This ability allows the demon to create a pocket dimension that they move freely through and drop people into. The domain usually takes the form of a small puddle on the ground, but once inside, it is much larger and has the properties of a swamp. The demon is able to use this terrain, along with this incredible swimming ability, to attack his opponents. However, he tends to use this ability more for stealth and kidnapping's purpose.